Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Nervous Chat. Hopefully, we are going to have a smooth Nervous Chat tonight with no internet problems, no technical issues. I'm optimistic. I've invested in some new computer technology and we've upgraded everything. And so hopefully, fingers crossed, we're in for a good show. Before I go bringing in tonight's guest, who's not quite in the studio just yet, I just wanted to talk about a couple of things coming up this week that certainly I'll be watching, and I know that the guys involved would really appreciate you watching too. On Thursday night, we are getting the long-awaited results of the Positivity Awards, hosted by none other than the legend himself, Steve from Thrills and Food. So please, 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 Thursday night, 8 p.m, get over to the Thrills and Food channel and find out who the winners in the Positivity Awards are. For me, everybody who was nominated is a winner because they've been recognised for their positive contribution to the community. But it'll be great to see the results of that awards. On Friday night, straight in on Friday night, we've got at 8 p.m. over on Rand's Adventures. We've got Adam and his theme park chat show, which I'm very, very proud and honoured to have inspired somebody else to live stream the way I do. And I'm absolutely fantastic. I was the guest on it Friday last week. It was absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed it. And I believe this week's guest is none other than the photographic legend himself, Coaster Tog. So please get over and check that out. That's on Rand's Adventures, 8 o'clock on Friday. And then on Saturday, we have an absolute banger for you. I've got a little VT to show you. That's how good this is. We have got on Saturday the quiz number 36 over on the Walking with the Woods YouTube channel. And basically, this quiz will consist of 35 questions, each taken from the previous quizzes that have been going for some time now over on the Walking with the Woods YouTube channel. The link for that is in the description for the video tonight. I will also be adding the link for Thrills and Foods live awards results on Thursday as soon as I've got the link for that. And I'm going to add the link for Friday night's show over at Rand's Adventures. Still waiting at the moment on my guest. I think she's having a little bit of trouble joining. See, I spoke too soon, didn't I? What did I say? I said it'll run smoothly tonight. So while we're waiting, I'm just going to run through a quick few of the live chat messages here. Good evening, Nick from Walking with the Woods. Just giving you a massive shout out there, mate. Looking forward to playing the quiz. There may even be 3 members from our household playing this Saturday. Evening, Coaster Chicken, my live chat moderator. Watch your words, guys. The Coaster Chicken's on it. Good evening, Oscar's Airtime. So, M, thank you very much for joining. Always a pleasure to have you in here. The Thompson Life, new viewers, I think. Thank you very much for joining tonight. That's really, really appreciated. It's always nice to have new viewers. And good evening, Lily, Airtime Madness. Lovely to see you again. Thank you for joining. Good evening, Dave's Adventures. Dave, I hope the video premiere went well that you had before the show. Good evening, Explore with Kersley. That's great to see you here as well. Good evening, Sam Coaster Tog. Just talking about you and your appearance on Rand's Adventures show later on this week. I think I've caught this. Oh, good evening, Steve, Thrills and Food. Just talking about you too, and your award results show coming up on Thursday. So I'm just catching up. Good evening, Rand's Adventures. It's the man himself, Adam, host of Theme Park Chat over on his show. Good evening to the 3 Mouseketeers. Wow. Good evening, Sophia. Yes, Sophia is tonight's guest, and she appears to be having a little bit of trouble joining. So I'm just going to try and help her out while I'm also chatting here. Right, I need to resend her the link for tonight because apparently there may be some problems. Sophia, I wonder if it's the internet browser you're using. It doesn't like Safari. You might need to go in and use something like Google Chrome or one of those type internet browsers. Good evening, Kaz's Crafts and More. Lovely to see you last night on Adam Ranz's show, and Dave, of course, Dave's Adventures. Wow. What a collection I've got tonight. Yes, thank you very much, James. Yes, absolutely. Please, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel and please hit the like button. It's really appreciated, guys. I absolutely love this. And of course, tonight as well is a little bit of an anniversary for Nervous Chat. We have now been running 6 months. And what a crazy 6 months that's been. It's hard to believe. I believe that tomorrow is the exact date of 6 months. So yeah, it's crazy, really, to think we've been going for 6 months. Started in August with my original guest, which was the legendary Coaster Chicken, who I'm going to be bringing back soon, actually, for another chat. To catch up with him, because a lot has happened since that first episode. So we'll definitely be bringing him back, and a few other of the guests as well that you've seen before will be coming back in the not too distant future. When I launch some new episodes, they're going to be called Nervous Chat Back Chat, and basically they're going to be episodes where I bring back previous guests for another chat and catch up with what they've been up to, where they've been, what they've done, and plans for the coming months. So yes, please look out for that. As I say, they will be called Nervous Chat Back Chats. It's a new idea. What I wanted to do was bring people back for more chats, but also identify it as a separate thing to, Nervous Chat has fresh new guests all the time, but Back Chat will give me an opportunity to bring people back and have another chat with them, but as a standalone episode. So James, the mug this week is Colossus. It's one of my favorites because it's big. It's great for the show because the coffee in it will last just about all the show. So I'm still waiting on Sophia. Bless her. She's desperately trying to get into the studio. I haven't locked her out. I can assure you, I wouldn't even know how to do that. That's far beyond my my technology. Bless her. She's she's trying to come in using Google now, Chrome, but I think her phone or computer keeps redirecting her to Safari. So if anybody knows anything about how to disable Safari as her default browser, then please advise in the live chat, because I'm not tech minded and I'm not a subscriber to the Apple Corporation. Kaz, you got a cat on your lap. Okay, I seem to remember that cat can be quite vicious at times. So please watch out for the cat. Although I think it's just got it in for Dave, if I remember correctly. I seem to remember Dave was savaged by the cat in a previous episode. So yeah, I'm just waiting on Sophia to join. Here we go. Safari just doesn't work, sadly. I had to download Chrome for my appearances. I'm just going to type that through to Sophia in case she can't hear what's being discussed, because obviously I do want her to come and join. It would be very sad. I know how excited she is to come in Oh, she's on it now, so that's great. It's only David that the cat bullies. I think I'm pleased to hear that. I'm not entirely sure. Right, hopefully, bless her, Sophia's just messaged and said that she's determined to get on, and she's on downloading Chrome and all of that. It's bless her. As I said, I know she was very, very excited about coming on tonight. So if you've never checked out Sophia and her channel, it's called SophiaParkAdventures. I've included the links in the description for both her YouTube and Instagram. She has been the finger on the pulse of developments of Jumanji World in Chessington, bringing regular updates in both video and photographic form. Yeah, if you want to see some great footage of the developments over at Jumanji World, then Sophia's vlogs are definitely ones to have a look at. She's also recently launched a business called Sweets or Treats, which I've also included the link for, selling both sweets, obviously, and also selling prime drinks, which we're going to talk about at some point during the show as well. So hopefully we can get her in to the studio soon. Failing that, I'm going to have to start singing or something, or telling jokes. You don't want me to start telling jokes. You really don't want me to start telling jokes. As you will see in any of my recent vlogs, I am the book of dad jokes. Yes, thanks, Nick. Do you know what? I've changed over to a tower computer, completely ditched the laptop now. And guess what? We have a perfectly stable, quick, responsive internet connection. So great. Nervous Chat will be going up from here on inwards. Let's have the dad jokes. Trust me, you don't want to see them. Although if you do want to hear some of my terrible dad jokes, please go and check out my my latest vlog from the London Transport Museum. I was on form that day, absolutely on form, much to Karen's and Gabriel's disgust, I think. Sophia's in the studio. Let's bring her in.
Am I here?
Good evening. You're with us.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's honestly, it's fine. Don't be stressed. It's absolutely fine.
Sorry. I've tried everything.
I should have asked you about it beforehand. I know that Safari and Apple internet browsers don't like StreamYard for some reason.
That's what I was on Safari, so I've opted for the laptop now.
Yeah, to be fair, you'll probably get a better overall connection and things, and a better camera shot. We can see more of your lovely face.
Hello.
So hello and welcome.
Here so I can see the comments.
Brilliant. Yes, we've just been chatting about obviously your channel and obviously your new business venture, which we'll get onto a bit later. Just going to see. Oh, hello, Oliver Shorts and more. Had a great conversation with you the other day. Actually, thank you for joining tonight. That's really nice to see. It's lovely to see new viewers all the time. I'm going to crack on now with. Yep, I think we've got it. Yep, we're up to date with the live chat. That's great. So, Sophia, welcome to Nervous Chat, and thank you for joining me tonight.
No problem.
I suppose, well, I was going to ask initially where and why you started YouTube, because I thought, that's where it all started for you.
Yeah.
And then, of course, as I was scrolling back through your YouTube playlist, I saw a video that was just literally entitled 100,000 follows.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, okay. Well, there's no way that your first ever video and, Fresh would get 100,000 follows. So, and then I looked a bit more into it and it was about TikTok. So did you start with TikTok then before you came over to YouTube?
Yeah, so basically what kind of happened was my mental health took a really bad turn for the worst.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was just about 5 years ago, and it was really unexpected. And I got into it was before COVID, and I spent about 9 months in my house, and I really got into my mum's makeup, believe it or not, at the age of 15. And I had a passion for makeup, and I started up TikTok doing that. And for some reason, it just went really well. I didn't expect it to go so well, and I had like over 5 million views on this one video, which was crazy. Like, it happened overnight.
Wow.
And then we kind of went to Chessington one day. Just it was when oh yeah, 3 years ago, because I've been on YouTube. This is going to be my third year. And I went just for a zoo day. And I used to go so much when I was younger. I had like the old Chessington Pass. Do you remember the brown ones?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I had one of those. And we just went as a family, and I was like, oh, I quite like this. I want to be here all the time, and I want to, do stuff. And that's when I started. I coincidentally came over one of Jack Silkstone's videos, and it just went from there. And 3 years later, here we are.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
brilliant. That's brilliant. And do you still do the makeup TikToks, or have
Oh,
you kind of pushed that to one side?
no, yeah, I do, because I'm also a uni student, so I study makeup at uni. Do that 3 days a week.
Right.
The makeup has kind of slowed down a bit, but I'm on it because I still have that follower base that I would like to upload to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine that Chessington has kept you very busy
Yeah, it
over the
has.
last few months with everything that's been going on there.
Mhm.
Obviously, I realise that you and I both have a shared love for Chessington.
Yeah.
You, because it's where you started with your transition from makeup TikToks to
Yeah.
theme park vlogging. Me, because Chessington really was where I started braving things a
I
bit
think that's
more.
amazing. I really do.
Vampire, by the end of 2020, Vampire, I was comfortable on Vampire. So yeah, and I do love Chessington. I love shows and things that go on there, as I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Obviously, as I say, yeah, Chessington, we both love Chessington. What do you think of the events that they put on last year? Obviously, you covered a lot of them in your vlogs. I
Yeah.
mean, you obviously spent you obviously spend a lot of time at Chessington, and that's fantastic. There's a lot to do there. So what did you think of their events last year?
I really enjoyed them. I think Mardi Gras was personally the best. The atmosphere was crazy for that. That really topped it. And it was just insane. Like, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. They did have a couple of like technical issues on the first day, which every park does.
Yeah,
But the way they stuck with it and got it sorted was really quite good as well, quite quickly. But Mardi Gras was my favourite, and then obviously you had Wilderfest, which is of course returning this year.
yeah.
And that was actually my first time going to Wilderfest. I hadn't gone the year before, so I was quite impressed with it. Like, it was good, but then again, unfortunately, everything happened with the main stage, and it kind of had to size down a bit. But I think the events are amazing. They're really good at Chessington. The performances are incredible, like you said.
Yeah, for me, it's absolutely the shows, but I don't know. I covered Mardi Gras, as people will have seen from my channel. I covered Mardi
Yeah.
Gras at all three parks last year. I managed to get to all three, and in fact, I think I did Thorpe twice.
Hmm.
And Thorpe was it was a token gesture at best. The second time was slightly better than the first because I got to take in a few of the shows a bit more, but it was still very much second rate to it was like it was oh well, we thought we'd put this on, but we're not really committed to it.
Yeah.
We're not entirely sure about it. Then did Alton Towers, much better, spread around the park better, still not amazing.
Hmm.
And then I did Mardi Gras at Chessington, as they called it,
Yeah.
and was completely blown away. That main stage show was just phenomenal. But that's what Chessington do, isn't it? They do it in
Yeah.
amazingly. I think the only one I didn't catch this year was Wilderfest. Unfortunately, I just couldn't get there during that that festival, but I did everything else, including Christmas this year.
Yeah.
And and it's always a phenomenal show. And I challenge anybody to disagree that
Yeah.
when Chessington put on an event, it's fully committed, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it most definitely
100%.
is.
And it's one of the things that I do love about it. If you want an entire package, it's Chessington.
Yeah.
You'll get everything. But obviously what they've been lacking, and I'm going to link this through now, is probably a bit more of a thrill ride, if you like.
Yeah.
Which we're now hoping we're going to get with Mandrill Mayhem, of course. What are your thoughts on Mandrill Mayhem? Do you think it's going to offer a bit more of a thrill, or is it going to be just a bit of a tame family coaster?
I think it is questionable. It is questionable, I think, because obviously it is having an inversion, and that's, let's just say, it's the first kind of upside down looping type of thing they've got at the park. So obviously Chessington is targeted for younger children now, and kind of Thorpe is more the adults. I do think it'll bring more of a thrill to the park. I can see it going absolutely brilliantly, but then because it's on one train, I can see it really queuing and going quite slow. I think, people might be a bit, not disappointed, but might get a bit agitated and annoyed with that. But then again, they seem, depending on how long it is and then depending how many times you're going to go around it, can vary. But I can see it going quite well.
I think, as you say, bearing in mind Chessington's target audience, it's I think the people who are going there thinking that all of a sudden there's now a thrill coaster at Chessington will be disappointed, as Coaster Dog there has said.
Yeah.
But I think as a family park, which is what it predominantly is, really.
Yeah.
It's, for me, I think it's a great addition.
Yeah.
I've already got my middle son, the G-Man, who appears in a lot of my vlogs, really excited that at 1.2 he's actually going to get to do an inversion.
Exactly.
And so for him, Mandrill Mayhem is it's best thing since sliced bread. It really is. He's so excited about it. And the fact that it's launched, it's a wing coaster, it's a boomerang coaster, and it inverts. He's like, he's been going to school on almost daily basis, talking to his TA about the latest updates from Chessington and Jumanji World and all of this. Obviously we can't forget about the flat rides that they've introduced.
Of course.
And I wonder whether they've introduced those because of the things that you highlighted there, which is the queuing time that there's going to likely to be for Mandrill Mayhem being only one train. It's almost, I don't know, I'd like to credit them with having the forethought of thinking, actually, let's put a couple of flat rides in as well, because it will help to take away some of the pressure.
Yeah.
But the flat rides themselves look really good as well. I mean, I've not seen a huge amount. Obviously, you can update us about that. What sort of styling of the flat rides are they?
So you've got Ostrich Stampede, and do you know what? There is a technical name for it, but I'm not with all the technical terms here in park community.
Me either.
So let's just say it's like the flying elephants. It's that sort of round. It goes round like that.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you've been to Brighton Pier. There is a ride very similar to it, and it bounces up and down like that, and it goes round. Like on the arms. That's essentially what Ostrich Stampede is. You're going round, bouncing up and down. Yeah, I think Coaster Chicken just said it.
Yeah, Techno Jump. There we go.
Yeah,
I knew he would know. I knew he would know.
So you've got that, and then you've also got oh my god, what's it called? The snake
Mamba Strike.
Mamba Strike. Yeah. You've got Mamba Strike, and I call it a classic funfair ride, because you're sitting in your rows, and it kind of just goes round like that. I'm pretty sure. I'm terrible. I don't know the terms.
Actually, if anybody wants an idea of what it is like, if you go back to one of my very early vlogs where I went to a fun fair, and I actually did one of those exact rides that you're talking about, where you all sit in a row. It's got the two arms, and it just rotates, just
goes round.
And you get some decent airtime on those. They're especially if they're the sort of quite rapid ones. So I think that'll be interesting, and they're quite different to what is already there. I mean, I know
Yeah.
obviously Ostrich Stampede has similarities to Elmer's Flying Jumbos,
Yeah.
but you know, Elmer's is for babies. I take Elijah on that. He's 2 years old.
Yeah.
You know, but I think Ostrich Stampede will be taking it up
Yeah.
to another level. And yeah, certainly the Mamba Strike could be, you know, just a good basic addition to you know, because for me, I think, you know, as far as a ride offering is concerned now, with the addition of these 3 rides as well, Chessington really has got a great offering now. I mean, they've always had a very good varied offering as far as
Yeah.
rides are concerned, you know, Zamperla discos, you know, which are very, very popular rides. So I think, you know, this is just going to up them to another level.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited because Chessington is probably only fractionally further away from me than Thorpe Park, and I say I've got 2 home parks, Chessington and Thorpe, because they're you know, they're both quite close to me,
Yeah, they are.
and depending on what sort of day out we want, we'll either go one or the other, you know. So but I think, yeah, it's great that they've done this, and you know, and spent a lot of money, because I mean, let's not forget that since 2020 they've built Croc Drop, river rafts.
Yeah.
I was working this out. There were 7 new rides basically that they've built since 2020. Once these 3 open,
you've got to think as well. They've refurbed Jungle Bus.
Yes, yeah.
They've refurbed that. Oh my God, when you think about it, it's quite difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, I had them all in my head the other day. I was like, oh yeah, the 7 new rides they've added. Because I was talking about it with the lads, and I was like, you know, when you compare that to Alton Towers now, who've taken away more rides than they've added.
Yeah.
Certainly in the interim, you know, it's kind of like you can see where Merlin's priority seems to lie right now.
Yeah.
You know, they've really upped the ante for Chessington, and I think it will do well, and I think it, you know, and I really hope it does, because I love the park as you obviously do too. You know, it's a great place for a family day out. Of course, timber tugboat, barrel bail, not timber tugboat, trawler trouble, barrel bailout.
Would you count Room on the Broom? Because I guess that was a re-theme, wasn't it?
It was a, yeah, that's a re-theme. But I suppose you kind of got to include it, haven't you? You know, it's because Trawler Trouble, although new to Chessington, wasn't a new ride. It's just a re-themed timber tugboat. Yeah, Blue Barnacle, of course, which replaced the Black Buccaneer. And I mean, that was beautifully redone as well, wasn't it? I know we waited a long time to get that back, but when it came back well. It looked like it needed the time that they took to, you know, make it good again. You know, so I think certainly it's been a good.
That comment, walking with the woods, is very true.
Oh yeah,
I tell you what, I was shocked when I went on it for the first time. I thought, you know what, I'll get it. It's a ride at Chessington. I've been on them all. I went on it, lovely summer's day. I was thinking, I'll be a little splash. I was soaked. I was so wet. I was like, oh my God. I was actually really shocked that you get more wet on that than you do on Tiger Rock.
Absolutely. Well, you see, I'm not a great fan of water rides. I just for me, they set my anxiety off, because you know, you're never totally strapped in, and it's just kind of floating on the water. It's not on a track, and you know, there are all sorts of things that play on my anxieties. But I saw river rafts when it opened, and I thought, oh, that's all right. It's a little kiddie log flume. Look at that little drop. That's nothing, you know. It probably didn't help as well that the first time I ever did it, I did it with Gabriel. Who decided at the top of the lift hill just before the drop to stand up in the boat and try and climb out. So that didn't exactly.
That's not good. That is it.
That wasn't great at all. So I managed to hoik him back down into his seat and get him resettled. And then like as you say, I just thought, oh, okay, well, we'll just do this little drop, and you know, and you know, a little splash, and it'll be fine. And oh my days, we were soaked. Yeah. Absolutely soaked.
And the more people, the heavier it is.
Yeah. and I've done Tiger Rock a few times now, and I'm okay with Tiger Rock.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think that Tiger Rock actually gets you damp. Not even really, not even a little splash,
No.
really, is it? Unless you happen to be sat in the wrong place in the boat, you're
Yeah.
pretty much going to come off dry, or at the very most with a wet bum, because the
Mm.
seat's wet from previous
Yeah.
from previous trips around. So yeah, I that river raft is definitely a bit of a shocker, that one.
Mm.
But a great addition again, because it's a
Yeah, it
kiddie
really
log
is.
flume. You know, it's that step, isn't it? It's a stepping stone. You go river rafts, get big enough,
Yeah.
Tiger Rock.
And
You know, and
it really does queue as well, river rafts. Very, very long queue. It's very
yeah.
popular, which is really good to see for a kids ride at the park.
Yeah, I know on summer days, I've seen people queuing right the way back to virtually
Yeah.
croc drop, for river rafts, you know, and
Mhm.
it's just absolutely, it's crazy. But as you say, great to see, because it shows it was
Yeah.
a great move, and you know, and all
It was a
credit
good
to
investment for the park,
absolutely,
which I
because
think is brilliant.
I don't think there's anything else like that certainly not in Merlin parks
No,
anyway.
there's not.
You know, they're all either full on log flumes, or you know, or like tidal wave. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
it's a thrill ride. So I'm just going through my quick little list here. I was furiously writing notes the other night, when I messaged you and said, I'm doing research.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
So one thing I've noticed that is a common theme, obviously, with your channel is short vlogs.
Yeah.
You know, generally no more than about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Was that a conscious choice that you made to do that, or was it just 15 minutes is enough? You know, I don't want to make any
Yeah.
more than that.
So I found I before I started YouTube, I wanted to do it properly. And I wanted to think, right, what's going to keep people watching and keep them entertained, especially because, you know, everyone loves theme parks, but then if some videos are too long, you don't want to sit through all of it and you scroll through and you miss bits. I wanted to make sure people who love theme parks, that they were able to watch it and it was long enough and they didn't have to skip through and miss, like, say something that was really important. And I tried out doing a really long vlog last summer, back when I was at Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach. They kindly gave me some tickets to visit. And I thought, right, there's so much here, I'll do quite a long vlog. And I realised, you know, when you look at the analytics, I think, and stuff like that, lots of people wind through, or people only get to about 2-3 minutes in.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's not intriguing, and my people are coming back for the short, like the 15-minute ones, like you said. And I find that the 15 minutes ones kind of keeps people, I think it keeps them entertained. And then there's enough information in there for maybe a week's break to then upload another one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, obviously it's one of those things, isn't it, that you know, if we know that the attention span of the average YouTuber is quite short.
Yeah.
But what I found is, when I've tried to do shorter vlogs like yourself, is that the amount of time that people are actually spending watching those just gets shorter, respectively, sort of thing. So if I do an hour-long vlog, they might watch 20 minutes of it. If I do a 15-minute vlog, they might watch 5 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like everybody, you probably feel that you know, you put all that effort into making this vlog. You see the average watch time of the vlog is like a quarter of the entire vlog, and you sort of like, really? What 15 minutes of that vlog are you watching? Because then in future I'll just make 15 minutes of that, or you know. But obviously we don't ever really know that without going into like into the depths of looking at the spikes and the dips, and you know, and I'm just not technical enough to do that. I make my vlogs and I upload them, and then, you know,
it's like me.
some people
I
watch
don't
them.
use all these fancy editing things. I just record it on a camera, download it to my phone, stick it in iMovie, and it's on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm quite similar. I use UCut, upload my clips. I might put transitions in. I try to put them in sometimes, and I might shorten the odd clip a bit, but that's pretty much the limit of my editing. I mean, I might add the odd sticker if I'm feeling clever. But yeah, and then that's it. Like you say, upload it, and I like creating thumbnails though.
Yeah, they're fun.
That's the fun part of it for me. I do like creating thumbnails, and I'm always looking to make my thumbnails better, more attractive. Obviously, yourself this week and M last week had the latest generation, shall we call it, of nervous chat thumbnails, which I'm quite liking. You know, for me, they would make me click. I don't know if they're going to work for other people. I hope so. You know, if not, I'll go back and reinvent them all again.
No, it looked very cool. I really liked it.
Yeah, I like it, but
I
obviously
think
I created it.
It's your channel. I think if you like it, that's the thing with me. I put stuff in because I like rewatching my videos. I could just sit there for hours and rewatch things. And I'm thinking, as long as I like watching it, it's all right.
Do you know that's you are a voice in the out on your own on that, because so many people I know that vlog don't like watching their stuff back, and I must admit I don't like watching my stuff back.
Yeah.
I hate the way I sound on video. My
Okay.
voice goes squeakier and a bit, you know, and no matter what I do, I can't, you know, I don't have a deep voice naturally, and for whatever reason when I vlog it just goes whoop and gets even squeakier. So I can't stand like watching myself back, and I cringe quite a lot when I do watch them back. So it is actually really nice that you like watching your own stuff.
I love
back.
watching them back.
But as you say, the important thing is, you know, that we make videos that we like, and that we enjoy making, and I think that's important. You know, there's so many YouTubers out there who are making videos that they want other people to like. Of course, we want people to watch our videos, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not the end of the world. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
they are memories as much as anything else.
Yeah, that's what I find. YouTube is, I don't want to do it as a full-time thing, you know. It's just something, you know, if I get a spare minute, I'll go to a park and make a video because I find it fun. It's like a hobby. I'm not doing it, you know, to get out there and become a YouTuber. That's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
I do it because I have fun doing it, and I know people share the love for theme parks as well. And like I said, I just love watching the videos back, especially when it's closed season and you can't get to the parks.
Yes. I think YouTube is a lifeline, isn't it, during closed season?
Yeah.
For you know, watching. That's when I tend to go back through lots of other people's YouTubes and relive moments and parks and things, you know, and I think other people, well, I hope other people do the same with my videos. It'd be nice to think that they do. So talking about obviously other park visits, I noticed that you'd been over to, I'm going to call it Liseberg.
Yeah, Liseberg. Yeah, it's just
Liseberg.
Everyone pronounces it differently.
Which is over in Sweden, isn't it?
Yeah.
And how did you find that compared to European parks? Obviously, the vlog looks great, I must admit.
Yeah. So to start, it was a really off chance visit.
Okay.
Didn't actually think I was going to go because we actually went out there. I'm guessing you've probably never heard of it. It's called the Gothia Cup. And it's a football World Cup, basically like the FIFA World Cup, but for under 18s.
Oh, okay.
And my brother participated in it, and he's also participating in it this year, so I'll be going back. But coincidentally, when we were driving to our hotel, we found out we were staying in the Gothia Towers. It overlooked Liseberg, and I went, why didn't I know this?
Wow.
Why didn't I know we were opposite this theme park? So it turned out it was a really nice surprise for me.
Yeah.
And I basically visited every day because their system on tickets is very different out there. So you don't have to have a pass, or you don't have to get a day ticket. There's many different versions. And I tell you what, it's very it's quite I'm going to say big kid theme park. There's lots of big rides, but then there's also quite a large dedicated area to kids rides, which as an adult I actually thoroughly enjoyed. And I'd say it's definitely a lot bigger out there, but it's very different to UK theme parks regarding, if you look at, you know, we've got, for example, games like Hook a Duck. They have these funny games where it's basically like bingo, and if it lands on one of your 5 numbers, you win like a massive chocolate bar. Very different.
I was going to talk about the chocolate bar. Your
Yeah.
brother was absolutely over the moon, wasn't he, when he won
Do
that
you know
that
what?
that great big thing full of Oreos?
Oreos, yeah. Like I said, I've been a couple of times on that trip. And I played it, didn't really win anything. And on that last day, I think we were about 4 hours before we had to get on our flight. We were just finishing off at the park. I went, oh, we'll give it one more go. And we gave it a go and it landed on our number. And we were like, oh, this is great, but where's it going? It's not fitting in a suitcase. I don't know if you can take it on as hand luggage. Luckily, we could take it on as hand luggage.
Wow.
And it was quite literally 30 massive packs of Oreos. It wasn't massive Oreos, it was 30
Yeah.
individual packs.
Wow.
And they have very similar ones with, like, you can win a huge bag of crisps, a huge chocolate bar, a huge Toblerone. There's loads of different ones.
No, well, that's brilliant, and I am glad you managed to get it back on the plane, because obviously the video left us hanging a little bit. I was kind
Yeah,
of like, did you
there
get
you
it back
go.
to the UK? Did you
We
manage to get
did.
it through? Were
We
you
did.
stopped at security? And I just had this vision of you
I
being
think they
stopped at
knew.
security, at immigration, as a
Yeah, I
security
think they
risk
know.
with this dirty great Oreos box. And I
Yeah.
just, that was a source of chuckle. I must admit. Dave, say goodnight to Kaz for me. It's lovely that she joined us, and obviously I'll speak to her again soon. I'm glad that you're staying with us tonight.
And thank you for joining.
So obviously we've talked a little bit about Parks, but I do want to talk about the other side of you.
Yep.
Which is the recent addition
Yeah.
to SophiaParkAdventures. Well, I suppose it's not really an addition to it, but it's an addition to what you do,
Yep.
which is the new business that you've launched, Sweets or Treats,
Mhm.
which, if you want to go and check out Sophia's website, the link is included in the description down
Thank
below,
you.
as is Sweets or Treats Instagram. So please go and have a look at those, give it a follow. So why Sweets or Treats? What made you go for that?
As in the name or the business?
Just the whole idea, yeah.
Okay, so it was, I've seen it so much on TikTok, sweet shopping and sounds and things like that. And we basically, me and my dad, it was a couple of days after Christmas, and I was just sitting there like, I have a job, I go to uni, I do YouTube, pretty hectic schedule as it is, but I thought I want to do something for myself and run it myself and just see where it went. So me and Dad went, right, we came up with a name. I've invested all my own money into it, and I had we went to the wholesalers and we had a budget on the amount of sweets, and we said, right, we'll just get these and see how it goes. And we've been open a month. We've opened a month on the 3rd of February, and I've had I'm almost at 100 sales, which is
wow,
a crazy to me. And I've just been asked to do this massive wedding, and it's just gone so well, and I just thoroughly enjoy it. And I think, I go live on TikTok and I do deals every night to make sure, I like people to get what they're paying, like their money's worth. I don't want to, undergive or, not, overcharge for people. I want people to, because I found with sweet shops, they're just so expensive.
yes.
So I thought, right, I'm going to make mine cheap. And it's gone amazingly.
And as you probably well know, having done your business research for your business model, as soon as they put it in a fancy bag, the price doubles.
Yeah, you'd be really surprised, because you've got to think, how many sweets you're putting in, but then also you've got your bag, you've got your thank you sticker, you've got your sticker logo, and then all that adds up and mounts up. So like a pack of 100 bags, you have to figure out how much one bag is, and it all does add up.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's as I said, it's fantastic that it's taken off, because I know obviously you and I had quite a few conversations before you launched about, I was trying to obviously give you some ideas, and
I really appreciated that.
No, absolutely. And as hopefully anybody will tell you, I'm all about supporting people, and I like to help people as much as I can. And if I know something about something that might be relevant, then absolutely come at me with questions, because I do have a retail background, so
That's really appreciated. Thank you.
there are bits I may know, but the wedding, securing a wedding like that is absolutely fantastic, especially having only been around 4 weeks. That's absolutely amazing, and a massive congratulations to you for
crazy.
that, because,
thank you.
That is absolutely phenomenal, and I think it's brilliant. What I do want to address is the elephant in the room, which is Prime.
Yep, go for it. Go on, ask.
Prime. I mean, so what made you want to add Prime in as part of your offering?
So, how can I? Basically, it's the in thing, isn't it? Everyone wants Prime, and it will slowly die out. But there is, it was put out today that there is going to be a new flavor. So, I reckon the phase will come back.
Yeah.
But basically, the Prime came from it's the in thing. People want it. Right, I want to get it in for people. And I've seen shops charging £10-15 a bottle.
Yes.
Which, don't get me wrong, that's really expensive. But then I also did pay, before I started my business, from a sweet shop, a £15 bottle for my brother. Oof. Now, yeah, exactly. It was a Christmas present. So I then thought, right, I need to find somewhere that sells them, because I tried Asda, I've tried Spars. I'm down in Surrey. You're down in Surrey, aren't you?
I'm Hertfordshire, but I'm not far from you.
Yeah. So, and I found it's just not in stock in Surrey. It's just not the thing. And the occasional time it is, and I thought, right, for the people in Surrey, I'm going to get it in. So I found a wholesaler, and it was a lot more than £2 a bottle. That's why I charged £6.50 a bottle.
Yeah.
But I thought, I'm going to get it in, and it's gone really well, which I'm really surprised by.
I think obviously what you're getting there, which is absolutely fantastic, is a supply and demand situation where people are becoming aware, are literally searching everywhere for this stuff.
I was like that.
And if you're selling it and you've got it, they're going to come to you. They are absolutely going to come to you. And then I suppose it's a perfect add-on opportunity, isn't it? Because you can go, oh well, I've got Prime. I've also got.
You've also got this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So why not take advantage of a trend? I think that's what retail and entrepreneurship is all about.
Yeah.
As spotting a gap in the market, if you like, and taking advantage of that. So absolutely fair play to you. Without, obviously, I don't want you to damage your business. I've tried Prime. I've tried a couple of the flavors. I'm not overly impressed.
Neither am I.
I think, and I do wonder whether there's a lot of people drinking it just purely because of what it is, as opposed to it being a nice drink, or and I question, having a little bit of a nutrition background as well. I question the.
Go for it. Yeah.
The nutritional claims of Prime, shall we say? But absolutely, people want it. People are drinking it. The teenagers absolutely love it. They're dying for it. Round here, that day, I don't know if you remember that day when Aldi got hold of some.
Oh, don't!
It was nuts.
Aldi down the road.
It went absolutely nuts, didn't it? It was just absolutely nuts. I've got a bit of an admission to make. They launched Prime at my local Asda.
Okay.
Logan Paul and KSI, I think it was, were there.
Seriously? Wow.
At Asda in Garston, Watford.
That's crazy.
I think it's the biggest Asda in the UK.
That's insane.
And
wow.
I was there that day.
Yeah.
Had no idea what Prime was about. And I remember going in, fighting my way through the crowds, and it was literally crowds.
Yeah, I've seen
thinking,
it.
Oh, what's all this? What the hell's going on here? Why can't I get into? I just want to go and do my blooming shopping. What the hell's going on? Because it was all young people, and I had absolutely no idea what was going on. It was only afterwards, when I got home and spoke to my teenage son, and he went, "Oh yeah, they were launching that Prime drink," and I went, "What Prime drink?"
Yeah.
And he went, "Oh, it's the Boxer," and his friend have got together and come up with this like energy drink. And I went,
"Yeah.
Oh, okay. So was it a big thing then?" He was like, Dad, it's massive. He's like, I can't believe you didn't like even take a photo. I went, well, I wouldn't. Why would
It's
I?
not. Yeah,
When
I wasn't very fussed about it. Like I said, my brother, he was like, right, I want it. I need to try it. Let's do this. Let's do that. And it was gone in seconds in Aldi, in Asda, when they launched it. And on the, I've tried it. You try something before you sell it. But I also wanted to try it because it was the in craze. And I tried 5 of the flavors, and no, I don't think it's very nice, to be honest. There are some I did quite like Metamoon, because to me that was just blackcurrant. I was just like blackcurrant. And the blue one, I do think tastes like blue raspberry. Those two I'd say are nice, and I'd recommend to people, and probably the red one as well. But the other ones like Ice Pop, they're just so sweet. I just don't think they're nice enough that I could sit there. With a Lucasade, I can sit there and drink it. But with that, I can't do that. I think you have a sip and then it's like, oh, sickly. Don't want it anymore.
I suppose the comparison really is Lucasade isotonic, isn't it? It's that kind of isotonic energy replenishing drink that's meant to keep you performing longer in the gym or whatever physical activity you're doing. But like you, I think I'm sticking with my my Lucasade isotonic, because I can drink that. It's nice.
I'm sticking with the non-fizzy Lucasade, because I don't drink fizzy drinks.
Okay.
It's just like orange juice. I stick with that and water because I don't drink fizzy. So
that's fair enough. That's that's fair enough. So what I'm going to do now for the next sort of 10 minutes or so is I'm going to throw open the to grill the guest, as we call it. So if anybody in the live chat has got any questions for Sophia, she is, I'm sure, more than happy to answer any of your questions. I'll kick it off with obviously, you've been to a few parks. What is your favorite roller coaster?
Oh wow. Okay. Are we including non-looping? Are we including
anything that would be a coaster cred?
Okay.
I will accept as a coaster.
Do you know what? And I hate to cheat on Chessington here.
Ooh.
I'm sorry if there's any Chessy people watching, guys, but saw at Thorpe Park. It's one of my favourite films. I love it. And the ride, when it came the ride and when they had the maid, that just topped it off for me. And it still does to this day.
It's fair enough. I find it a little bit rough.
It is very rough.
But yeah, the theming, I think the theming is what makes sort of the ride, isn't it? As you say, the film franchise, very popular, etc. So all that, Coaster Tog's asking, do you sell vegan sweets?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. We have different size vegan mixes. So we've got, I think it's a 300 or 500 gram bag, and then a 1 kilo bag, and they're fizzy.
Fantastic. There we go, Sam. Yes, vegan sweets are available.
I'll be going live on my TikTok after this if anyone wants to join.
Oh, fantastic. There we go. If you want to see some of what Sophia has available in her shop, then please go and join her live TikTok live after this. Oliver's Shorts and More. Obviously, he's just asking, what sweets do you sell? Can you
everything.
I was going to say, it's pretty much everything, isn't it?
I sell lollipops. I sell vegan. I sell gluten-free. I sell just your classic pick and mixes. I sell cable mixes. I sell individual bags. I do quite a lot of different stuff.
Yes. I obviously I've seen a lot of and shared as many of the sweets or treats stories and that as I can to obviously try and promote you a bit. And yes, the selection is vast already. Yeah,
there's lots.
I'm going to let you answer this question from James, because it's a conversation we had before you started, wasn't it?
It was. So I did think about that. What did you say his name was? James? I don't want to call him Coaster Chicken.
Yes, James. Yes,
James. So we, like you said, we did speak about that, but then it's only one target audience, and you don't know how well it's going to go. It could completely flop. But I am thinking into it, because we have a lot of the colours now for certain rides, like red for Nemesis. You could do blue for Colossus, or like blue Barnacle. So it is definitely something I am thinking about, but it's just advertising it in the right way, I think.
which I think is where we left it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When we were talking about
That's
it, was
as far as it's got, really.
oh, here we go. You've got a new customer already, Sam Coaster
Oh,
Tog. His good lady wife is vegan
oh,
and he's
amazing.
vegetarian. And I remember from my wedding, where we had a few families who were Jewish, and
Mm,
I hadn't realised how many sweets contain pork gelatin,
yeah, you'd be really surprised
and
that a lot of them do.
it actually was quite a mission to find sweets that were
Hmm.
suitable. Because at the end of the day, if you put a sweet table out, kids are just going to go, and help themselves.
Exactly.
And we had a number of children there who were from Jewish families, and I was like,
Mm,
I don't want to segregate them. I don't want to say you
yeah,
can only have those sweets. So we sourced all
yeah,
non-pork gelatin sweets, and
yeah.
it was quite a mission, to be fair. But
It
we
is. There's not a lot, but like I said, there's a lot of sweets where you can cater to dietary options. There's a lot. You'd be surprised. A lot of the sweets are halal. They are halal
yes,
suitable. So I do halal. Like I said, I do quite all the different ones. I don't think I've got a gluten-free mix on the website, but a lot of them are gluten-free, surprisingly.
yeah,
And that's, I'm looking into sugar-free because a lot of people, who are diabetic, they want sugar-free.
yeah,
So I'm looking into
absolutely,
that. I want to be able to have like a variety for people. I don't want it to be right. This is a pick and mix. You can't have it if you can't eat it. Do you know what I mean? I want
absolutely,
to
yeah.
include everyone and everyone to feel comfortable, and that's what I try and do on the lives. I customize it for people on the lives. If they don't want this, they do want that. They want extra, and I always go over my amounts. I never do it dead on 1 kg. I always add an extra, which is great fun.
No, that is brilliant, and it's great that inclusive outlook you have there, because it's important in modern times, I think,
Yeah.
to be inclusive. What about theme park plans for 2023? I'm assuming you're going to be there for opening day for Jumanji World.
Yep. So let's see. So I'm going to be at Chessington's annual pass day and Chessington's opening day. The aim
Okay,
is to be at Thorpe Park's annual pass day. I do believe the opening day is actually the same day as Chessington's opening day on the 24th of March.
I believe it is.
So
Yes.
I want to try and do both, but it probably won't happen. So I probably will be at Chessington. Obviously, all the Thorpe Park events, all the Chessington events. I'll be at Liseberg in July again in Sweden. My goal is I'd really love to go to Alton Towers. I've never been. I know it's so far and it's just such a journey, and
It
it's really
is.
quite far to drive. So that's the goal. I'd love to get to Disneyland Paris, but yeah, obviously I'll be at Jumanji opening day, but I'm also at the press event for it. That is so exciting for me.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
I
is very
can't wait.
exciting, and congratulations on that, because
Thank
getting
you.
invited to Merlin press events is quite an achievement.
Well, do you actually want to know how it happened?
Go on, tell us.
So on annual pass day at Chessington, it's not an invite. Basically, to tease Jumanji, they had a roaming team that were giving out, you picked your player and they gave you a thing. I won 5 free donuts. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. And just as I arrived, I heard they'd hidden 6 pairs of binoculars around the park. And then after, from Chessington Buzz, I'd heard that the ticket was the winner who found each of the binoculars. They won an invite to the press event. And I thought
Oh
it was just
wow.
me. And I actually found the last pair. And that was as you walk into the gift shop, there's the bushes on your left. It's
That's right,
actually
yeah.
hidden in a bush. They
Oh
weren't
wow.
actually allowed to hide it in retail, but they did. That is what
Yeah.
I've heard. I don't know how true that is. And it quite literally was pure coincidence. And it's me and 4 others to go to it, and a hotel stay to then be there on opening day the next day, which I am so excited. I can't even explain.
Can I just at this point say I'd love to be your new best friend. And
It's very undecided what's going on until I know the opening day and everything like
yeah,
that.
of course. But
And kind of just keep it under wraps.
I am planning to be there opening day.
It'd be
So
awesome to meet you in person.
absolutely, I was just about to say exactly that. I make it my mission to try and meet as many people as I can, and
Of
especially people that
course.
I've had in the studio.
Hmm.
It's always nice to sort of follow up a chat like this
Most
with a
definitely.
face-to-face meet. So that would be absolutely fantastic.
Most
Um,
definitely.
Do you have Jawbreakers? Are you old enough to remember Jawbreakers?
They're like they were the balls, weren't they? They were white with like the splatter of colour.
That's it. Yeah.
No, I don't have them. It's more of we're kind of going for gummy pick and mix at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm doing like, retro mixes, and like I said, you've got the different ones.
Yeah.
But no, we haven't got Jawbreakers, and we don't have chocolate. Lots of people ask about chocolate. We're not doing chocolate at the moment because that is a real dietary thing that you have to look into, and allergies. And I don't personally like the idea of mixing sweets with chocolate. I think that ruins the chocolate.
Yeah. I can see
I
that.
am thinking of doing different, mixes. So, like, for
Yeah.
example, a Jawbreaker one could be one. So I will definitely look into it if that's what people are wanting.
So keep your eyes open, folks, for
Mhm.
updates from Sophia on her sweets or treats page. Obviously, M's asking if you sell coconut ice. I'm not sure what that is, and
I
James is asking what coconut
don't
ice is.
not a clue what. I feel like I've heard it. But I
Yeah,
don't know if that's because I'm thinking now, if you're under 18, you might not know what this is. Smirnoff Ice. I don't know if that's why I'm putting the two together,
oh, here
but
we go. It's pretty much just desiccated coconut and sugar.
no,
Proper retro. So
no.
there we
But
go.
I can get it. If you think it could go in a retro range, Oscar, then I will definitely look into it because I'm going back to my wholesalers for this wedding. So if it's something people are interested in, let me know.
Yeah. Favorite film? Dave and Kaz are asking.
It's a good question. Like I said, my Saw movies are my favourite. I'd say that's my favourite series, but film, do you know, it's got to be the new Elvis film. I love
Okay.
Elvis. I love Elvis.
Wow. I'll take a little thing about Elvis. My mum was a massive Elvis fan, literally massive. And when she was pregnant with me, she found out, obviously knew she was having a boy,
Yeah.
and wanted to call me Elvis. And then my dad stepped in and said, look, do you just want our son to be bullied the rest of his life?
Yeah, I
Because
don't think. Yeah.
somebody called Elvis in the UK, it's not going to go well. So then she went, well, actually, then what about Aaron? Because obviously that was his brother and his
Yeah.
middle name, wasn't it? And my dad was like, I'm not sure. And then in the end, they compromised on Darren because it contained the Aaron part of it,
Yeah.
but it wasn't Aaron.
Yeah.
So that's how I got my name. So I went from
crazy,
Elvis to
Elvis
Darren,
to Aaron to Darren.
in a conversation. Yeah. So that's where I got my name from. So just to your favorite sweet. It's an obvious question, really, isn't it? I suppose.
Do you know what? You'd be surprised. I don't eat my stock. I do not eat my stock because I feel like if I eat my stock, then I'd be addicted to sweets. But I think my favorite sweet is, those really small strawberry cables?
Yes.
Those are classic, aren't they? I really love them. And
like the laces, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really thin. Yeah, I know which ones you mean.
Yeah, and since starting the sweets, they're called psychedelic mice. Don't know if you've ever had one. It's like a blue mouse, a blue gummy mouse that's got multicolours on it. Yeah.
No, that's a good one. I've not heard of the psychedelic mice.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep an eye out for them though, because I kind of want to try them. I'm not a big sweets fan, as I think I told you a while back. It was yeah, I'm not very up to date with lots of the modern sweets. I'm more of a chocolate fan. And at the moment, I'm on a big drive to get in shape for the season. So I'm back to my high protein, low fat, low carb diet, and running and cycling, and desperate to lose the nearly 2 stone I gained after Run Alton Towers. So yeah, and of course, obviously, yeah, as Dave's putting, his wife Carolyn, bless her, underwent bariatric surgery to have a gastric sleeve put on.
It's funny you say that. My cousin has had that as well, actually.
And she's doing phenomenally well.
That's
really
amazing.
Is.
That's really amazing.
Yeah, she deserves every credit for that, because
that's amazing.
The surgery itself is quite, I'm sure, quite an experience.
Yeah, I know the recovery is a bit hard for it as well, but that's amazing to hear that. That is really amazing.
No,
Good
absolutely. So I'm just going to wick through it here to see if there's any more questions. Who you have never been? Okay, that's fine.
I don't really understand that one.
No, that confused me. Your bucket list coaster. If there was one coaster in the world that you could go and do, what would it be?
Oh, I really don't know. Do you know what? I think it's a Velocicoaster. Because I've been to America once, and I was a lot younger, and like since getting into the theme parks, I watch a lot of. Have you heard of Tim Tracker?
I can't say I have.
Right, have a little look, have a little watch of him. The Tim Tracker, he's amazing. He's massive for like the Disney parks, and just Velocicoaster looks awesome. It just looks awesome, and since that, I just want to go on it.
No, absolutely. It's on my bucket list, certainly. I think for me the priority is Ride to Happiness. I know everybody raves about Ride to Happiness at the moment and all that, but it does just look absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Coming in from James here, do you think Elvis is secretly still alive?
No, I don't think so.
I think if he didn't die when he allegedly died, he would certainly have died of old age by now. But
well, I don't think he would. If he would have still been alive, I don't think he would have been too much, like too old, if that makes sense.
Yes. I think it's I'm trying to think how old he would be now. And of course he would be absolutely gutted that his granddaughter passed away.
The person who passed away was Lisa Marie. That was his daughter.
Sorry, his daughter, not his granddaughter. I do apologize.
I was devastated. I was absolutely devastated.
Yeah. Do you know, just thinking about obviously his daughter and his ex-wife, my mum, bless her, she was such a massive Elvis fan that if you ever mentioned Priscilla Presley in her presence, she would go mental.
I love Priscilla Presley.
She hated her. The venom from my mum. She absolutely hated her because obviously they split and there was all the stuff about how she'd not been a great wife and all of this and that she was only in it for the money and my mum absolutely hated her. I love her like you. I think I actually think she's a great actress and I never forget her in was it Naked Gun 33 1/3?
I can't remember.
She was brilliant in that, absolutely brilliant. So I think I do like her as well. I'm a bit of a closet Elvis fan. One of my karaoke turns was because it was my mum's favorite Elvis song is to get up and sing In the Ghetto.
Yeah.
Badly, I hasten to add. Very, very badly. But I do it because it's my mum's all-time favorite Elvis song. So yeah. Well, actually, that's a question for you. Favorite Elvis song? You must have one.
So it was his protest song when I think it was either when Martin Luther King or John F. Kennedy passed away, and it was If I Can Dream.
Yeah.
It was when he was in the white suit and had the big Elvis written in the back. It's my favorite. It's my go-to. I love it.
I think like you with that one, the Ghetto one for me is very striking, isn't it? If you actually listen to the words, it's very much a commentary on the social situation in America of the time, where obviously all these children being born and without sustainable homes and etc. So it's and it always I say it always touches a nerve for both of those reasons, I suppose, for my mum and obviously for the meaning behind it, a lot of it. So that's great. I think we've just about covered all the questions there. I
saw someone ask, can I let them know when Jumanji is opening?
Yes. Adam is asking, can you let us know when Jumanji opening day is? I've heard some rumors. I've got a friend who works at Chessington, who I'm not going to name because for their own, sort of for their own good. But I've been told May June at the latest.
Okay.
I do know that from a staff perspective, there is training commencing soon for
Okay.
the ride operator side of it.
Awesome.
So it's certainly moving along very, very quickly, and they
It is.
have designated teams now for Jumanji World
Oh, really cool.
within the staff setup. So that's how far along they are already with regards to getting that up and running.
Yeah, I think it's
So
definitely going quick. When I headed there the other day, I think there was so much work going on. I could hear it. A lot of it is obviously for the I do believe, I think someone mentioned it earlier, some sort of maze in the middle. I'm quite
yes, Adam
interested
was
to
saying about
see
that.
that.
Yeah, the
I'm
Jumanji
quite
maze.
interested to see that.
Mm.
But I think from what it's been advertised, spring. I don't know when spring starts or spring ends, but I can see it being probably like nice weather for it, I hope.
With Chessington, just on the point of when spring starts and spring ends, I'll never forget when they refurbed Sea Storm.
Yeah.
And of course, all the banners said reopening spring 2022.
Mm-hmm.
However, it didn't actually reopen until July 2022 when they opened up Shipwreck Coast.
Mm.
So you
Okay.
never know with Chessington
You don't
exactly
know
what
with Chessington.
spring really means. I
They
am
could,
hoping
yeah.
that it will be in time for or before the summer season, purely from the perspective of it needs to bed in, doesn't it? And the staff need to get used to it and work out what works and what doesn't work. And
Yeah. I guess
and
when you think spring, like my immediate thought, if you say spring, I think May.
yes,
I'm thinking if they was to open in May, hopefully they wouldn't do it in May half term where it could be really busy.
I suspect they would avoid that,
Yeah, that's what I'd like to think
because
they're going to do.
if they were to do that and then it all of a sudden experience a lot of teething problems,
Mm.
the damage potentially that could do to Chessington and its reputation would be quite quite significant. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I think for me, avoiding that, if they can get it open before that,
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
that would be great, and then get it bedded in, all the teething problems sorted, ready for
Mm.
that week. And I wonder if that's what they're actually thinking about, because that would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it, to get it open maybe 2 weeks before that break, that
I
half
could,
term break.
yeah, I could see them possibly. Well, like you said, they could open it whenever. You don't know with Chessington, but
No,
then I could see them doing it before to then bring in people for half term because it's the hot on the block, isn't it? It's a new thing. Everyone probably would want to experience it. But then
absolutely.
I could see them doing it after half term,
Yep.
probably ready for summer and to get people, hyped up for the summer, get people going. I think it would fit quite well in with Wilderfest. I could see, do you know what? I could see them. I know, licensing and everything, but how awesome would it be to see something themed of Wilderfest for Jumanji? That would be quite cool.
It would be good, wouldn't it? It would be, and
Mhm.
it would, and I wouldn't put it past Chessington to tie them together like that, because
Yeah,
they're very good at tying theming together, aren't they?
yeah, yeah.
I and so who knows? We'll certainly keep an eye open, and I'll be keeping an eye obviously on your vlogs,
Yes.
because you've been a constant source of updates for me, certainly
Yeah, yeah.
through your stories and your vlogs. So that's absolutely
Yeah,
fantastic,
I'll be
and
back there in February half term, so about a week's time. So, mate, I'd like to see a little bit more land open to get a little bit closer, but it
yeah.
probably won't happen. I can't imagine till probably March time when the park opens. And obviously, that's where I'm going to be heading straight to. Forget the rides. I'm straight to Jumanji to get an update.
I wonder if where the gorillas are. You've got
Yep.
that little viewing tunnel.
Yep.
If you were to shimmy up onto the roof of that, what sort of a view would you be able to see Jumanji World from there? And would they notice you were up there? I don't know. Not that I obviously condone those kind of security
Oh, no,
breaches, but
the viewing
it might be too far the other side of the park, thinking about it. You know where you go into the zoo area, the main zoo bit, and then
yep.
you've got that viewing. It's like a tunnel, isn't it? Where the gorilla enclosure is.
Yeah.
You come up past the lions, I think it is, on
Yep. Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the left, and then you swing round to the right, and then
Yeah.
you got the gorillas just there,
Yeah.
haven't you? And I think it's a viewing, it's a building of some description, isn't it, that you go
Yeah.
into?
Yeah. I think
And
it's where the gorillas go
I'm just
sometimes.
wondering if you climbed up on top of that, would you be able to see?
I don't think I want to get kicked out at Chessington. You definitely do not want that. But obviously, that is, there's some great places in the park, when it does open up fully in
Yeah.
March. There's the hill by Blue Barnacle that you can stand on. You've got the main entrance now, as it is called, obviously the Explorer entrance, not the hotel entrance.
Yeah.
There's a bit of brickwork with a tree on it. You can just stand on that brick or stand where the little pop-up shop is, and that gives you a great view inside.
I got some great photos at Christmas from, actually, as you say, from Blue Barnacle. I climbed up on the wall and up through the trees a little bit there, and was able to
There's
get
some
some
really
great
great views
shots
you can get.
of it as it was then. And it was only, I think they were only starting to lay the track at that point, or we're maybe about a quarter, third of the way through. But
Yeah.
and that was great to get that footage. So we look forward to that. Well, as we seem to have come to the end of the questions, and I know you've got to dash off now and get sweets or treats living on TikTok.
Yep, I've just seen someone comment. Yeah, guys, definitely Coaster Tog commented. We're not climbing any walls, do not worry. We just go on the hill that's available.
That's right. Yes. Sorry, I'm sorry if I led you to believe that I was endorsing wall climbing there. I'm not. Obviously it has
Definitely
safety
don't
issues.
do that.
No, absolutely. Unless you want to be barred, of course, and never see Jumanji World Open, in which case, feel free.
Wasn't there was someone who climbed stealth at Thorpe Park, and he's obviously been kicked out, and he free climbed it. He broke in and free climbed it, and he's obviously been banned. I think, why would you do that?
Too right. And then, of course, there was the news from Alton Towers, wasn't there, about the guys that vlogged themselves climbing
I didn't
Oblivion.
really see that. I didn't I know it was, always on Twitter. It was on Twitter a lot. I didn't really see much of it. I saw the odd clip in the Smiler station. I didn't actually get to see much of that, but I just don't understand why people would do that.
No.
Imagine why you'd want to do that.
So dangerous. One slip, and they would have been down and gone. End off. That's a massive fall that they would have taken onto some very heavy duty metal tracks.
Exactly. I can't imagine why people would want to do that.
Sadly, people do stupid things for.
Don't get me wrong. I would love to do the Swarm coaster climb. That looks cool.
Yeah, see, I know that that's a step too far for me at the moment.
But do you know what? In the future, you might think it might be amazing, and you want to do it.
Absolutely.
You never ever know.
I had a friend do it last year, actually, and he sent me a load of pictures, and and it did look amazing. And I know what the view's like from the top of Swarm. I love that view. And when I did a night ride on it during Fright Nights, and it was just absolutely mind blowing. So but at the moment, I probably would be able to get to the top of it. Whether I'd actually be able to open my eyes to appreciate the view, I don't know. But never say never, because I used to say I'll never get on a roller coaster. And then more recent times I said I'd never get on stealth, and so absolutely, it's it's certainly one of those things. So as I said, I'm going to let you shoot off and get into the studio for your live.
Thank you for inviting me on.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on. I absolutely loved it. I can't believe we're an hour and 20 minutes in already.
I know.
It's absolutely crazy how quickly it goes sometimes. It really is.
It's gone really fast.
But no, it's been absolutely lovely, and thank you so much. And as I said, we will stay in touch. Obviously we speak quite a lot, and hopefully we can arrange that meetup on
definitely
the opening day for Jumanji World. When you just have a mind blank, I apologize for that. And that would be absolutely great. If not, maybe we can drag you up to Towers one day.
I'd love to. I'd love to get there.
I think you'd love it. I think you would.
It looks cool.
It's a good part. That's where I'm going to be opening day. So
awesome.
This year, I normally do either Thorpe or Chessington like yourself, pass holder day, but this year I'm going to head to Towers, because that's where my mates are going to be. My best mates are all going to be at Alton Towers. So I was like, do you know what? Let's go there. So yeah, cool. All right. Well, I shall let you go. As I say, thank you so much for joining. And I look forward to speaking to you very soon. Take care.
Soon, and thank you
Bye
for
now.
a great chat. Bye-bye.
No worries. Bye. And there we go. Sophia from Sophia Park Adventure. Absolutely wonderful. And I loved chatting with her. Could definitely have chatted for a lot longer. There's so much more from her channel. So please go and check that out and have it and drop a little subscription to her there and a follow on Instagram. As I said, we've got exciting things coming up this week. In the Thrills and Food Positivity Award results on Thursday. Adam Rand's Adventures theme park chat on Friday. Saturday, Walking with the Woods quiz over on their channel. The links will be all in the description. Next week, I've got Inversion Mayhem coming, who have been YouTubers for a while, but then went a bit quiet and are now reviving their channel and getting right back into it. And so I'm looking forward to talking to them about how vlogging and things may have changed and that kind of thing. Thank you everybody for watching. It's really appreciated. And thank you everybody who watches the recording afterwards on YouTube. Please, if you've enjoyed the show, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications, and that would be absolutely fantastic to have you in the next show, which will be Monday, 8 p.m. next week. So until then, guys, I'm going to say goodnight. And I've absolutely loved tonight's show. And I'll see you next week.